And if there is something which is against my conscience, in the name of our common values, because now we are celebrating Muhammad Ali, rahimahullah, who in the name of his principles said to the government, what you are doing in Vietnam is wrong, so this is conscientious objection, and this is right. It's not against the country, it's in the name. Look at what is happening a few years later, celebrating the man because he was courageous. At that time, this was not the mainstream discourse. So the point here is defining Sharia. The upstream is we abide by the law. Second term which is important, and I will just come, give me 3 minutes, I will come to my conclusion. This is a way of giving some time. But the second thing, which is, so this is the legal dimension. Now there is another thing which is important, which is the cultural dimension. And when we speak about fiqh al-muwatana, and this is the critical discussion, very often the scholars have been talking about the legal is in which way we can adapt to the situation, but there are things that are very important in the way we deal with our society when it comes to citizenship. Something which is very simple, language. The language, this is what I call the 3 L's. The legal, the language, and the loyalty. The legal, it's the first. The second is the language, that now we need to produce knowledge in English, in European languages, which are part of our civic and civil belonging to the society. And that's not nothing. So, speaking Arabic to get to the source, speaking English to spread the right understanding to the masses in our intellectual. So this is part of citizenship. A citizen who does not speak the language of the land, it's a problem. And speaking the language is not only the verbal dimension, it's the non-verbal, it's the cultural dimension. So your body language, the fact that when I come to the United States, you have a problem with you, Tariq Ramadan, because you are Swiss, your relationship to clapping is not the same as ours. It seems that you have an American way of clapping. It's cultural. The dimension here of the cultural, from language, all the languages, the verbal, the non-verbal, the body language, the artistic language, is part of citizenship. Because citizenship is about feeling good. So are we producing something enough in fiqh al-muwatana in this? Not enough. It's as if it's all legal. Halal or haram? Can I do this or not? Third dimension. You belonging to the country, contrary to what was done under colonization and when we were perceived as immigrants in these countries, if you are muwatin, citizen, you should be politically involved. And this is your loyalty in political terms, is a critical loyalty. If you understand why you are here is to be faithful to Sharia, and Sharia is promote what is right, when your government is doing wrong in the name of your country and in the name at the same time of your principles, you have to challenge to be critically loyal. But not the way I see now, this young generation of Muslims, the yes, yes man. You say this, don't speak too much about politics, show that you are very spiritual, but avoid politics. And then celebrate Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X. That's the way we are. That's what we like. You know, you like it. Got you. So, but that's very important. Critical loyalty is part of citizenship. Why, for example? You know, I said once, I'm very disappointed with Barack Obama, your president, because he did nothing. I said, and then you have other citizens, so many other citizens saying the same. So we celebrate Noam Chomsky, who said so many times, he did nothing. We want to be accepted. So you don't have the right understanding of citizenship. Because for the sake of this country, the people who are doing the best for this country are the people who are ready to be constructively critical towards the government. What you're doing is wrong. So this is citizenship. So my last point is about the objectives. So these are the big picture, the cultural thing, and then the objective is at the end of the day. When we think about citizenship, we have something that I call, and you know, all what I'm saying here is I read almost all what done by the scholars. So in the books, I pay tribute to all the scholars who came with the first step, and then we have to carry on, and we have to move on, and we have to deal with all these challenges. And all this time, when I'm saying critical loyalty, I'm speaking about domestic issues and international issues. We are not scared. We are talking, and especially in the United States of America, it's a power which is everywhere in the world. So you are involved. You are at the center. You cannot just speak of the center and forget the periphery. You can't do that. So the last thing is the objectives. Is the way we think about our citizenship, and here we come with, we can repeat the 5 main principles of our objective, protecting our deen and all this. All this is right. We have to protect all this. But now there is something which is more specific in the way we deal with the society, is to understand our role within this society. And this is why we don't only need fiqh al-muwatana, but akhlaq al-muwatana. Ethics of citizenship. What does it mean? And we understand that first, whoever we are, even if we are Americans, we start with our obligations and duties towards God and towards humanity. We are here to serve for the better. So our mission here, and we have a mission as citizens, is to promote this ethics of citizenship, to stop following the people when we only speak about rights. The culture of rights is distorting and destroying the world. My rights, my rights, my rights. Individualism, capitalism, consumerism. Are you here to follow? Are you here to buy the American dream? Or are you with the ethics of citizenship coming with some principles? And so the way we are serving humanity, the way we are protecting nature, all this is part of our... So you can see here with our objectives, the way we protect our deen, the way we want to protect even our aql. Where are the Muslims, citizens, American citizens, in all what should be done in the field of education? Not to come only to say, you know what, we have our Islamic school, where only 5% of the Muslims are going to go. What about the state system? What about your universities, where all the transnational corporations are putting money, and you think it's free? They are directing the whole education. Are we involved in this discussion as citizens? Are we involved in the healthcare realities? This is all fahm al-muwatana, and it's only with this objective and this upstream picture that we can come with fiqh, which is the legal fiqh. If not, it's a very narrow area when we just help the Muslims on the short run to feel a bit better, but not to play the right role that they have. And I would say that the contribution of our scholars is great. It's an open field. We still have a lot to do to get this understanding, our terminology, our principles, and our objectives when it comes to this. And once again, what came from the Marrakesh Declaration as if it was completely new, I think this is much more a PR exercise. We need to be serious about this. We need to be serious about what was written about it, and understand what are the challenges ahead as Muslims and as human beings and as citizens in our respective countries. Wallahu a'lam wa a'lam wa ahkam. Assalamu alaikum.